So, good afternoon. I've got another day off, and I've got another another expedition down to the Deepfall Breach in Dragonbane RPG. That's from Free League, and I'm going to play the solo mode, and it's the second mission of this solo mode I'm going to play. It's actually the second attempt at this, because the first one, my little dwarf up here, what did I call him? Frulim. He actually didn't make it back out last time, so I decided this time I would actually take a sidekick. I created a little thief character here. Again, very, very low level, like beginning character, Timra. And she is pretty good at acrobatics, at evading. She's pretty good at sleight of hand, at sneaking, and not a lot more. I hope I actually did that right, looking at it again. Might be missing a couple of skills. Combat, she's just good with knives, nothing else. But I think I probably messed something up, because you should have 6 skills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 plus 2. Maybe. Might work. She doesn't have a lot of kit on her. Knife, weapons, lockpicks, food rations, but that's it. So I'll see how that works with a sidekick today, to give me a wider range of abilities than just having one character. But that also means I'm not going to give myself the 2 actions that you normally get for playing by yourself. 2 initiative cards. So let's see how that goes. So, if you don't know how this works yet, basically there is a template that gives you the structure of what you're doing. So we've got Stonegaze, this chap here, this wolf person, telling you about a mission, and he cannot foresee everything that is going on in the dungeon. So he's going to give you some waypoints, like the Stone Maw with a short description, but not more than that. And then there are some unknown waypoints, which you basically have to roll for. Then there are some known ones again, and typically the finale. Here's a ritual chamber. It's got a bit more of a description to it. And in this case, it's basically a wide pit, and in there will be a cultist called Arioch with a couple of cultist priests. And he has got this amulet that I need to get from him. That's my mission, if you like. So I'm going to start from the beginning, and that's this one. My gaze is Stonegaze talks to me. My gaze is fixed upon the cultist subterranean outpost. There find ye Arioch, the devotee of demons who wears the Worldbreaker Shard as a medallion. Wrest it from them, so we remake its power for good. Oh, sounds very epic, doesn't it? So, but as a twosome, I'll be going down into the dungeon, see what happens. And for this I created a couple of scenes on here. So the first one we're going to come to is the Stone Maw. Oh yes, there's a threat. There's a threat in the background at all points. I've got a little threat indicator here. I'm going to park that up here somewhere where you can just about see it. And the threat here is: the chasm is restless, magma churns below. Be quick, lest the breach unleash its fury in your path. So basically, whenever there's a delay or complication of some sort, this threat goes up by 1. And when it hits 6, the threat comes to pass. And that means, in this case, well, we have to work it out, but magma will break out while I'm down there and causing chaos. Maybe could help me. It could swallow up those cultists, but it could swallow up me. So I'll have to find out. So the Stone Maw is the first waypoint. And I created some artwork for this one. I just have to find it again. Stone Maw. There it is. So, and this is still with one character. I need my other character with me, so I'm not all alone this time. So here we go. The Stone Maw. I might pop this out, so it's not constantly in your way. Oh, still in your way. Oh, good. No, it's not. So, this great earthen visage is twisted and warped by time and the chisels of cultists, evoking a fanged monstrosity whose gaping maw presents your entry point. I see blood dripping from those wicked fangs, but I cannot say if this vision is real or prophetic. So basically I get a rough description here. And let's unpause the game as well. And this rough description will be added to by some rolls on some dice. So let's first of all 1d4 how often I roll the dice to add details. And it's going to be 1, only 1. I created myself a roll tables here on the GM screen module. And what I need is location detail, just 1. So click on that. So there are clinging webs about on top of everything else. So there's no inhabitant here. There's no opponent here. There's no treasure here. There's just clinging webs here. I need to try and get past those wicked fangs and those clinging webs. So as a solo game, you always have to think, okay, what's the challenge in this room? Yeah, is the challenge here one of movement, of being able to get past it without actually, being stuck in a web and maybe a spider comes out? Something like that. So let's find out. What can I do? I think I'm going to make either an evade or acrobatics roll for each of these guys. Why did that not save? Oh, she's got leather armor. All our weapons have not saved either. Excuse me while I just do some maintenance here. That should all have been on here. Unless, when I created her, I forgot to set this little tick box here, link actor data. Okay, so I just have to do that again. I gave her leather armor, which is 1 armor point, because anything else would actually have given her Bane on sneaking. I gave her a dagger and a knife. No, that's not what I wanted. Knife. Still not what I wanted. If you have any questions, by the way, on the system or how I set this up in Foundry, please do ask in the chat. Yeah, this is your chance. So dagger, knife, and I gave her a light crossbow, which she's not very skilled at. As you can see, she's only got a 7 on that. So that should be okay. So either acrobatics, as said, or evade. Let's have a look at her skills. Her evade is 14, that's the same thing. So she's going to try and evade it first. And she manages with the 12. She gets past the webs and those dripping fangs, whereas Frulim is much less likely to make it. Let's see. He also will try to get through it with evade. Will he make it? Ooh, he does not make it. So what shall we do? Let's say there is a chance, there's a 50% chance that he got stuck in a web and a spider will come out. A giant spider will come and try and eat him. So if it's 50 or below, the spider comes on the D100. It's 83. So luckily the spider is too far away. He manages to free himself and move on to the next one. Almost. Oh, got stuck. Rushed against webs and almost got stuck. Luckily, no abomination came forth. How about that? So the next one will be more interesting. So the next one is an unknown waypoint. So first of all, before we do anything else, we have to find out what sort of area this is. So roll on the area as a twisting passage. So then we have 1d4 details. And it's going to be 4 details. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to scroll back through them so you can see them properly in the chat. So, twisting passage. I didn't ask for that. Twisting passage that we make our way through. And in the twisting passage, we find the following. We find bubbling pools of something. Bubbling pools. Oh, I can't type today. Bubbling pools. What else do we find? There's a danger and flooded space. And what's the last one? No, not quite. Icy surfaces. Okay. Bubbling and icy at the same time. I see. So it's going to be slippy. It's going to be wet. And is there something else? Very icy surfaces. ×2. So, no opinion, no opponents. Bubbling pools, flooded space, icy surfaces. So, you could slip, you could fall into a crevasse, you could... What? Something could lurk. Bubbling pools could be hot. So I think I'll send the thief ahead again, and I'm going to make an acrobatics roll to move through it. She manages to get to the other side, dancing across between the bubbling pools and across the ice. She turns around to the dwarf and smirks at him and says, "Come on then, that wasn't so hard, was it?" So what will the dwarf do? This is almost the same as a bit. If you have any bright ideas in the chat, please let me know. So he also will have to do acrobatics this time. And I believe... No, acrobatics is fine. Evade and sneaking, he would have a bane on it. This was armor. So, yeah, he's just going to do normal acrobatics. And again, he doesn't manage it. What will happen? What will happen with him? I think he starts slipping towards one of the bubbling pools, and I just quickly try to throw a rope to him with agility. I think I'll do that with agility. Don't have anything else for throwing. To see whether he can grab it and I can rescue him. This is what having two players, of course, helps a little bit. Two characters, I should say. Actually, throwing anything like that is sleight of hand. I'm going to use that button. No, I don't manage. So he will slip into a pool of something bubbling. So when you don't actually know how much damage something is going to make, you can do a roll on the table. And this is slight damage. So let's call it 1d4, but armor doesn't help. As he slips into this pool, it's 2 damage and scalds his leg a little bit. Oh dear, the dwarf. 1 last willpower. I need 8 points. 1, 2 points. Before he actually manages to get back out. He's got better foot, but still the hot water scalded him. That's not good. Again, there's no opponents here, so that actually makes it for a really, really quick journey. So let's see how quickly we get through this today and whether we are alive at the end of this. So after picking him back out, she laughs at him and shakes her head and says, "Oh, really? Dwarves, how can you just be so clumsy? It's unbelievable." And we move on. So the next area will be unknown again. So it's an abandoned outpost. So location detail. Abandoned means there shouldn't really be any inhabitants in it. That's how I read it. So, how many details? 3. Location details. 1. Imminent collapse. There's a hidden trap. And there's a mystical light. I'm going to just put that on my log here. Because I might actually want to search this place. Abandoned outpost. With threatened by imminent collapse. A trap. A mystical light. So this outpost was a cultist outpost. And we're sneaking around and we're looking around and say, what's that light shining through that window over there? Try to get close to it, but of course there's a trap. So the thief is going to go first. And she'll have a look whether she can find or spot that trap, that spot hidden. Gosh, she's bad at spot hidden. I think he's better. Yeah, the dwarf says, let me have a look. And he notices a trap, which she will try to disarm with sleight of hand. Ooh, just. Did you see that? Oh, almost 1, just a 1. But it was a 13 instead of a 14. So she manages to disarm that devious trap. What sort of trap is it? There's a table for that. Guess what? It was a teleporting the sigil. But it was not sprung yet. So that means they step past that sigil and go through the doorway. And see that this mystical light was luring them towards the trap. But while they're there, they're going to scavenge the abandoned outpost. Actually, no, I'm going to search it, which takes a turn, which basically increases my threat a little bit. But I want to search it properly. So, search. What do I find? Resolve a spot hidden roll as follows. Roll twice on the table to the right and choose 1 result. Oh, sorry, if that is. So, spot hidden. The dwarf is going to have a look as he looks around. Spot hidden. 15. He's not going to make it. So failure is you waste time and find nothing of interest, but I did get 1 treasure card. I'm going to take myself 1 treasure card. but nothing special, nothing extra. So treasure card, again, there's a table for this. Let's roll it. Oh, great. Look at that. Great plunder. 2 copper pieces. Who's gonna bag those? 2 coppers. Oh dear. Like 2 pennies worth of. But I spent some time, so the thread is ticking on. Now we come to Fool's Crossing. Fool's Crossing is going to be a scene that is a bit more set, as you can see here. So, as we enter the scene, there's a crumbling bridge spanning the breadth of the rift. Below, a river of magma belches smoke and fire. A small band of orcs encamps on the near side of the bridge. A barricade manned by the cultists lies on the other. The orcs besiege the bulwark, but take no ground. There must be magic at work to repel these skilled warriors so handily. Otherwise, those orcs would definitely get through a few cultists. So, the first thing I'm going to see is how these orcs would react to me. So there's a reaction table, which is part of the fortune chart. And they say they're open to me. Yeah, so it's the last of the results here. Last of the entrance is reaction, so it's open. That's good, because I'll approach them and offer my help. And say, ooh, what's going on here? And all that sort of stuff. But let's see what else there is in this room. So, you know the drill by now. Only one extra detail. And it's creeping vines. So I will say that the bridge is blocked off by a shield, but on the, I'm not sure whether you can see my ping, there are some creeping vines running up the side, which might allow me to get behind the shield. So who shall we send forward for that? To try and break and help the orcs and break the shield. I think I might actually think this is good for her here. So she's going to sneak up there. I hope so anyway. 12. Good. She manages. She sneaks up there. And she spots this cultist that has put up a ward on a carved rune tablet. And what's she going to do? Smash it or steal it? No, she's going to smash it, I think. She's going to smash it, and then she has to evade the energy that comes out of it. And she does evade very well. She rolls off to the side, over her shoulder, back towards the vines, and drops past out of sight so the cultists can't see her. But the shield collapses, and the orcs storm forward with big showers, and the cultists, a couple of them try to stand against this onslaught, but most of them just run away. And as the victory is assured, she picks herself back up, goes onto the far side there, dusts off a little bit and says to the orc, "See, it wasn't so hard. By the way, if you think I'm making this too easy on myself, then please do say." Yeah? So, good. That's another waypoint done. We then approach a shadowed courtyard. Could look like this. Sorry, wrong character there. So, basically, I'll read it out first. Beyond a ruined gate lies a courtyard fronting an ancient stronghold. Scores of cultists dwell within that fortress. That's too many for me to fight. But you have no need to take a direct route. Instead, descend the well into the towns below. So, scores of cultists? Nah, I can't do that even with 2 players. Hey Paul, how are you doing? Good to see you. So, what should I do? I think the well is going to be in the courtyard, so I might have to sneak to it, otherwise some of the cultists might see me. So there's a lot of sneaking going on, isn't there? So this time, he's worse at sneaking. He's going to do the sneak this time. Oof, yes. Managed to get to the well and try to climb down into it. Climbing. Do we have anything? That's acrobatics, isn't it? Climb down the well. Yeah? Good. We managed to get down to the well. Again, far too easy. I didn't actually do any extra details. Let's see. Was there anything else here? 2. Roll 2 location details. Corroded surface and sentient door. Okay, I'll leave the sentient door for the way back. Sentient door. Right, we managed to get into the rat. What was it called? Ratways. The tunnels. The ratways, I think. That was from last time. Let me just get rid of these tokens. The right ways. You like the tunnels? Like the artwork, Paul? I have to admit, it's all mid-journey. Plus a little bit of effect from Foundry. So, the rat ways. These stifling tunnels afford little room for mistakes. Heed not the voice calling you to refuge, for it speaks only lies. Follow the silent darkness, and into the cult's black heart you will emerge. So, what do we find in this passageway? We already know it's a passageway, so it's just extra details I'm rolling, and there's going to be 2 of those. And those 2 extra details are going to be dusty air. Yeah, it's dusty air. And a sealed antechamber. Can I resist it? So, dusty air is not a problem. Sealed antechamber. I wonder what's below this. And maybe I'll just put the sentient doorway here. Sentient doorway. Now the sealed antechamber could create an extra waypoint for me. But I need to unseal it somehow. So I think I'm going to have a look at it with spot hidden to see how does this thing open? How is it sealed? Or is it craft? It's crafting, isn't it? Let's start with crafting. He has no idea. And as he actually looks at it, the door starts speaking to him and say, "Oi, that tickles, get your hands on me." So that means Timra needs to come and help. What can she do? I think she's going to use some sleight of hand, because her spot hidden is poor. Why did I not take spot hidden? Let's see whether she, with her nimble fingers, can actually find a way of unlocking this. Maybe the sentient door will listen to that rather than reason. She finds a way of unlocking the door. But let's see whether the sentient door, how does that react? Ah, wrong one. That's the one I wanted. Hostile. What could a sentient door do to you while you're trying to open it? I just watched a D&D movie yesterday, so let's see. The Seal of Mordekainen? No, a bit much. Let's see, she's just basically unlocked it and trying to grab the ring that hangs around the door. Yeah, it could slam shut on you, but I was thinking it could bite you. But yeah, actually, she manages to half open it and tries to squeeze past it. In that moment, the door tries to snap shut on her. So I'll give her an evade. Get out of the way of it. Which she just manages. Just. So she's now inside shouting and he's outside. And the door is shut and laughing. Going, I let you in, but now you're trapped. Oh dear, how are we going to get untrapped? I think my dwarven friend here, he's not one for arguing with doors. So I think he's going actually to get his big axe, his battle axe out. And do a couple of attacks on it. Now there's actually a set of rules for damaging items, but I can't quite remember. So I'm just going to let him make a couple of attacks and see what happens. Because knowing myself, I'm going to roll a demon, I mean. So 2 attacks he manages. Let's make 2 damages. That's fairly average. 21 damage. Okay, he's spending some time bashing the door down. Move on the time as a threat, because she is trapped inside, but she's going to have a look on the inside. So how many details for this chamber? 2 extra details. 1, 2. So again, there's scalding steam and bubbling pools in there, just like the stuff we had. But between that, she's looking, she's searching the place. So I need a spot hidden from her, but she's crap at. Excuse my French, but she manages. No, she doesn't. It's a 7. So she doesn't find anything. But after a while, the door is bashed down. It has stopped cackling. She emerges, all steamed and hot and bothered and sweaty. Wiping down. Ooh, says, quickly, let's finish this mission. This mission is actually much quicker because I haven't had any fights yet. Much quicker than the last time I played it. So they sneak down into the ritual chamber. The Cultist Den. Again, wrong character on here. Whatever. The Cultist Den they arrive at. So, short description. A wide pit occupies the center of this room, surrounded by scrawled, fiendish symbols. Steam rises through the pit from the magma below, clouding the space in sulphurous fog. Arioch and a pair of cultists lair here. This still doesn't make sense grammatically. In the midst of some vile ritual, seize the shard and make haste to return. That was foreseen. So we have fog. We have a pit. I'm going to roll some more details. So, 3 more details. And then we can see what we do with this. So, 1, 2, 3 location details. We have ragged scratches. Okay. Doesn't do a lot. Another sealed antechamber. And fiery surroundings. Well, that goes without saying, doesn't it? So, between all those... the sulphurous fog and the magma and the fiery surroundings, I think there's a very good chance, and they're singing and chanting, aren't they? There's a very good chance of actually sneaking up on them. So I think what we're going to do is have a quick look at my character sneaking. I think she's pretty good at that, isn't she? Yeah. So she's going to try and sneak up behind the cultists, whereas he's going to pepper them from the distance with a heavy crossbow, hiding behind some magma chutes to make it harder for them to get to him. And as soon as they're distracted, she can strike. Or shall they just strike from stealth? So he's ready. He's readied himself. And she will see whether she can sneak by. Now, ideally, she would like to get to the cultist leader and backstab him. So, that means sneaking, but it means with the... sneaking, if you're that close. Is it a Bane or is it a -2 you get? It must be Bane. Because if you want to get that close. Actually, I'm going to do sneaking from mid-distance? No. With a Bane. 2d20, you take the worst. Now, that would be a fail, but I think I'm going to say I'm going to be disheartened, but push the roll. It's mean with a Bane. But look at that. I can't take the 1 because it was with the Bane, otherwise it would have been great. But with a 7, she gets close to striking distance. So when she does that, she can use her backstabbing talent here. I could just post it here briefly, show you. Basically, it means that you get within 2 meters. I manage that. And then you can do a sneak attack. And that means it cannot be dodged, it cannot be parried. I get a boon to the roll. And I basically use the critical damage on my subtle weapon. So I'm going to use my dagger. I'm going to attack with it. That's knives. I'm going to get a boon on the roll. And roll for knives. The 6 is what I really wanted. Good. The 15 would not have been good enough. Now I go for damage, which is the same as critical damage. He cannot evade. Yeah, okay, I suppose. 14 damage. And that's before any initiative happens. So, I just need to get this Arioch guy. And a couple of cultists. Oh, look, I didn't put a thingy for him. What did I use for? Cultist minions, I think. Rearrange these a bit. Now, this is not a battle map. This is just a vague arrangement of how they're standing. So, how much damage? 14. He's got some armor, I believe. The robe counts for 2, so it's 12 damage getting through. Goes down to 8. That was a pretty good hit on him. So, I also rule that because I was doing the sort of prepared thing, this is going to be the first initiative, and the crossbow will come as well. He will aim for the same guy. So, crossbows. But he doesn't get a boon. 8. That would be enough. So, 48 damage. 4 on 4 is not a lot, especially if 2 of them get into the armor. So now they can react. And now I'm just going to do the overall initiative for the 3 of them. Actually, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to rule that the first attack is going to come from Arioch himself. Now, the question is, how does he react? He has got somebody right next to him, so it's probably going to be a melee attack, isn't it? Or is he going to try magic? Any opinions? Magic or melee? He's got somebody right in front of him. Nothing from the chat. I can roll. Okay, 1, 2. He's going to go melee. 3, 4. He's going to try and do some magic. He's going to go melee. And then you can actually, on here, there's a table for that. He's going to deal a blow, make a melee attack. So he's got staves. And he misses, if I see that correctly. Dies right on it, but it's a fail. Look at that. The other 2 cultists have to orient themselves and look around and draw their weapons and stop singing and then say, oh, what's going on? So they're ranged. And have they got a ranged weapon? Can't remember. No, they don't. So they're going to make a melee attack. And they're going to go for the thief. So the first one makes a wild attack with a boon. And if he's successful, he inflicts 1 extra damage. And I'm knocked down. So let's see whether he will make that. I need to roll twice and take the better one. No, he misses. Ha! Misses twice. Good, because I didn't have any actions left to defend myself. Now the other guy, what's he gonna do? Attack melee. Deal a blow. So he runs over. And he attacks with his axe. Just a normal attack. And he manages, and I can't defend, so it's going to be straight damage. 6, 1 armor, 5. 5 get through. That hurts. So we need to get him. Now I should really be rolling initiative, but I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to say I'm next. So she's going to no longer backstab, but she's still trying to get rid of this Arioch guy. So, quick attack with her dagger. Keep clicking on the wrong thing. Oh, by the way, Paul, if you can remind me how to make a nice little CSS for this to make it look a bit better, I would be very much open to suggestions. So, knives. I'm not booning anymore, sorry. Let's do that again. I miss with my action. He's going to shoot again. From afar, and he doesn't miss. Now that's better. 16 damage. That's a bit better. So 12 go through. I think that means Arioch is gonna be gone, isn't it? 8 minus 12 is dead. Yeah, Paul, it's not a real system. You have to keep that in mind. It's the Custom Systems Builder that's being used here. And I don't know whether you've ever looked at Custom Systems Builder, but within it, I'm going slightly away from this because I'm selfish here. If you go to settings of it, there is this thing saying you can load in a CSS style file. But I'm completely clueless, as you know. Yeah, but I would love to have different fonts. I would love to have some sort of parchment background picture or something. I just can't work it out. I'm not as good at this as you are. So, the cultists, let's see. I give them a chance that they see their leader fall and they're going to run away. I think I'm going to make a willpower roll for them. Of course, they haven't got anything for that, do they? Let's give them a 12. 12 or lower, they see that it's pointless to try and fight. No, they want to fight. Okay, so they attack again. Bad for me. Wrong bloody. There we go. First one manages to hit me. And again, I've used my action, so I can't evade anymore. Unless I've got something special in my abilities. I can't remember. No, I don't. So, That's going to be his damage. Nine damage. That hurts. That hurts. Didn't I take some damage earlier? Fail, fail. Fail. I'm sure I took some damage earlier. Bandit fighter, fail, fail, bandit fighter. 6, which was down 5, so I was down to 11. Now I got another 9, which means I'm down to 2 hit points. 2 hit points. Not great. And the other guy, actually I'm going to roll for him. What's he going to do? Deal a blow. Well, he's going to try. And you can see why I decided to have another sidekick with me, because this is really, really hard. So that will basically mean I'm going to go down, unless they really roll very poorly. So 7 damage, which means I'm down. So just going to do it like this. Down. So basically, when you do that, let's have a quick look at the rules for that. Rules reference damaged armor and death. So if your hit points reach 0, you drop to the ground and you risk dying. You cannot move or perform any attacks, except trying to rally. On your turn in each subsequent round, you must make a death roll. So we're not going to do that. And another player within 10 meters can persuade you to rally and keep fighting. So let's see what he does. Because it's really his and her turn. So what's he going to do? Is he going to rally her? Or is he going to attack? Because I might just knock it down again, right? But otherwise she's down and can't act. I think he's going to try and rally her if his persuade is any good. No, it's not. In that case, I think he's going to just plonk them with another arrow. Bolt. So, crossbows. Yeah, well, he hits them. For 14 damage. I think that takes one of them out straight away. Yeah, look at them. So, he sinks his crossbow bolt into one of them as revenge. And snarls at the other one and says, "That's what's coming to you." And I give them another chance to realize that they should really run away. And this time, he cowers and runs away, hiding in the smoky depths. So now I can go and try and heal. How does the healing work? I need to do a continued death check. Let's do that one. I haven't done that before. Death rolls. So it's a constitution check. And a failure goes there. After 3 failures, you're dead proper. So, and then he can try and heal her. With a healing roll. He's got bandages with him. So, he'll do a healing roll. He's not great at it. No, doesn't manage it. He can try more than once, but he doesn't manage it first turn. So another constitution check coming. That's a success. This reminds me of D&D. So he'll try again. So get up, goddammit. Still doesn't manage, but he's going to push himself. He's going to get scared. Still doesn't manage. So third one. Oh dear. Just made this character. I don't want her to die already. That's a success, because her constitution is really good. He'll try one last time. Get up, goddammit. Doesn't manage. And saying he's gonna get exhausted by this. And try again. Finally he manages. So it restores 1d6. Hit points. That's not many. And she can stop making these. So, 2 hit points. We therefore can plunder Arioch. We can take the amulet of him, and while we're here, I think we should scavenge the other people as well. So scavenge is a roll basically to say you're looting, but it doesn't take a whole turn. And I'm finding absolutely nothing of note. Great. Great stuff. I think the audio went there for a second. Hope it's better now. And yeah, if I remember correctly, there was nothing hiding on the way up that would keep us from getting back through. So retrieving that amulet, which is the tip of an old spear from Arioch's neck, and abandoning that loony cultist to run into the depth of the cave to his fate, we make our way back up. Make our way back up to see Stone Maw, Stone-Gaze, and say to him, here it is, here's the amulet you sought. Which gives us the access to the next mission, if you like, and it gives us the chance to go through and have a look at any ticks we set. There were no ticks at all today. None at all. Tick you basically get whenever you roll a 1 or a 20 on a skill. So, as you can see, there's nothing here, and there's nothing on combat. Bit disappointing, but I can also spend 5 development points other than that to try and increase things. So I'm going to try and increase the healing. Means I have to roll it and fail it, and then I can actually increase it by 1. And I don't fail it, so it's 1 go. The second go, I'm going to go for persuasion. That one I failed, so it goes up. A third one, I'm going to go for acrobatics. And fail it, so that goes up by 1. And then for the last 2, I think I'm going to go for crossbows. Pass it. And I didn't get to use it today. Axes. Why is it 2? Ah, never mind. I need to clear these first. I forget this sometimes. So axes again. Don't. So that's basically his 5 opportunities to increase something on. And I'll do the same with her here. So she definitely wants to learn crossbows or slings. Crossbows. Doesn't. Great. While I'm at it, then knives. Doesn't. And 3 more. I definitely need spot hidden. Finally. I could see some use in healing. Yeah. And the last attempt. Maybe awareness. No. 1 increase. That's it. So that basically would line up the next mission. And the next mission, I'm not sure I've actually got it on here. The next mission I can, however, put on here for a moment. So at least we know what it's going to be. It's going to be the Mage's Refuge. And you can see that the Mage's Refuge is about a wizard of repute once dwelling within the Reach, studying the fiendish origins of the Rift. Decades have come and gone since the Mage's demise, and their tower lies abandoned. Venture there and retrieve an artifact more than useful to you. A pair of calling stones to bind your soul to the surface should you have the need, and they're going to be really useful. So you can see the next one, I'm not going to do that today, the next one is going to have 8 waypoints. Only 2 of them are not known. So, what do you think? Did I do alright? Is it too easy having a companion like this? One of them went down and could have died. I mean, don't think it was too easy. I think it was about appropriate. But what do you think? Yeah, would you want to come and join me, play a duel? You could take charge of one of the characters, Paul, maybe? Huh? But yeah, leave us a comment, leave us a like if you liked it, or a sub even, you never know. And I'll be seeing you when I do the next episode. I think you did all right. I'm considering using this approach for one shot I'll be running this weekend Yeah, excellent. I'm actually looking to create some characters for the group today, this evening. And then we might actually start a couple of the scenarios from the scenario book, the adventure book, just to try it out. 4 or 5 players. Let's see how that works. But yeah, Paul, let's see whether we can hook up for something. For now, however, thanks for watching, if you were, and I'll be seeing you all soon. Have a good day.